Oi oi Savaloi, time for a squint at my first 2015 Robots in Disguise thing. It's Steeljaw. So here he is in his bot mode, all shiny blue Wolfman, looking, well, pretty small, gotta say. First thing that strikes you about looking at this guy is that even for a little Legion figure like this, he's proper diddy, especially when you first look at him squidged on his backing card like that. It's just, oh, he feels mightily tiny, but it's a mightily nice package, actually. But before I get into that, I suppose I should qualify the tininess of this thing. Well, stand him there, plonk him next to a bit more of a regular Legends bloke like Prowl here. And, well, look, he's like, you know, full head and a bit shorter. It's proper small for small stuff here. And I have to say, even without getting into any of his articulation or his paintwork or his alt mode even, without any of that, the first thing that has to be said about these new RID Legion guys is that they're too bloody expensive. Let's just put it into perspective. Something like Prowl here set me back like, what, £4? This guy is £7. You having a laugh? So in essence, these days you're basically paying what you would for a Scout back in the day for the sort of size class under that. That sucks, man. And it's certainly making me really reluctant to pick up any of these guys, even though, if Steeljaw's anything to go by, they're pretty nice. Because let's face it, we've had a good year and a bit without proper Cyberverse stuff, and it's just been repackagings and repaintings of older figures chucked in the AoE line to have some properly nice, new, cool looking little dudes again. It's really good, but they should not cost more than a £5, and really don't pay more than a £5 for one of these. Extortion's a crime! So what are you getting for your hard-earned pennies? You just get this nice metallic blue dogman. He's got a face like a wolf and a big black window on his chest, which seems to be sort of standard fare for every single RID guy. Everyone seems to have this weird sort of angular big flat space on their chest that's supposed to be a window or part of their alt mode, and yeah, okay, I can let it off. It's a bit of vehicle stuffery that is probably quite needed on something that looks as animalistic as this. Because sometimes it's hard to remember with all these RID weirdos that this is their robot mode, and it's not an alt mode. They're a beast that turns into a car, and for a while that sort of didn't gel with me, but now I've seen some of the show, and I'm growing to like it a bit more, and RID seems to be headed on kind of the right path, but whatever. Let's see where it all begins with Steeljaw here. Yeah, he's just a really wide, low, squat little robot man. He's got arms that move in the standard way that Legends figures' arms move, with ball joints that can kind of go in and out a bit, but mostly just go up and down. And then you have his legs, which are actually surprisingly decent. Ball joints at the hips there, which go all over the place. And he's got knees, kind of. They do something there, you know, there's movement, better than nothing. And his feet sort of go in, so you've got ankles as well, so you can actually get him into some, you know, walking or vaguely dynamic poses. But the main thing that really hinders any posing you're going to do with this guy is just the sort of overall silhouette of pudge that he seems to exist in. It's like he's got limbs in the middle, and then he's just got all this stuff around the edge that rounds him out a bit. And overall, that kind of detracts from his sort of character model on topicness the most, because really, does this look like that? No, not really. But you can forgive it because he's tiny. And he has actually got a little tail. Also, bonus points for having the good old standard 3mm Cyberverse hands, which means, you know, you can stick some stuff in his paws for him to wield, if you like. There's a bit of added value there. That's about it for robot mode. Let's make him a car so he can chase himself. Dog puns. First off, just tuck his tail away, makes the top there, fold his feet in, peg his legs together. Oh look, you've got a front of a car there. On each side, just push his arms in, and it requires a touch of wangling because tabs and stuff don't quite properly line up first time. But there's the sides, take the front end, just push it in, and push on the sort of these bits, fenders, something. Push on them, tabs together. It's a car now. For me, this is where Steeljaw really shined, because I just really like this. There's something about the shape of this sort of four-wheel drive thing that looks a bit like a dog, and that lovely lustrous metallic blue, which is obviously coming across as far too bright on the camera. Yeah, it just looks really good. I love the angles, I love the shape, the size of it. In this mode at least, it's actually pretty nice. It just feels good. Nice little satisfying canine mobile, wolf racer, dog demolition derby something. Got a couple of nice little paint apps over the place, a couple of lights on the front there, some little tiny red touches around the back. It does enough. I just really like it. And then you get the big obnoxious sort of symbol badge Midoo on the side there, because of course the whole thing with all of these RID toys is that you can scan that with your phone and then you get something in the game, and I don't know, have a go. Maybe you can scan it through the screen like that if you haven't got Steeljaw in your app, whatever. But my phone hasn't got enough memory to run the app, so I can't do it myself. Anyway, on a figure this size, you could say that's a bit obtrusive because it takes up a lot of the guy's space, but I can forgive it. Stuck there on the side, it's just not slap bang in the middle of his chest like on some of the other figures. The last thing to note about this mode is there's a couple of holes up here, isn't there? Well, surprise, surprise, they're good old Cyberverse 3 mail, so you can store weapons up there. Everything here just makes me think that these guys were sort of made to come with little guns like the Prime Cyberverse guys did, and then they just cut them out or something. I don't know. It's nice that you've got that sort of backwards compatibility to the old Cyberverse stuff, but I've got to say there must be quite a few kids who were roped in through Age of Extinction who must be looking at this and thinking, what's all this about? There he is next to Prowl in his alt mode, just in case you were wondering. He's a bit thicker, a bit taller, not quite as long as sort of what you'd expect, I suppose. RID Legion Steeljaw then. Nice little bit of an oddity. Nice little just package of shiny blue unorthodox robotness. It's a spot with me, definitely. Maybe you don't quite like his proportions, maybe you don't quite like the fact he's so short and dumpy, maybe you don't like the fact he's a wolf man. But go away, watch some RID, see what Steeljaw's like in the show, and come back to me and say that again, because I won't believe you. Feeling rough? Haha, dog pun.